Welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, where we bring you conversations with the top business minds on Long Island and around the nation every week. Featuring expert consultants and small business owners who have found success but are also willing to share their top tips, failures, and give gritty, matter-of-fact advice based on their firsthand experience. Now, let's get down to business on Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hello and welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Ray Schwetz, AVP of Business Banking at Jovia Financial Credit Union, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, CEO, keeper of the brand marketing and digital agency. And we're focused on being the premier resource for business and entrepreneurship.
Ray and I bring you weekly business advice, tips, tools, and service that help you grow your business. Plus, we interview the top business leaders in the industry.
Yeah. Now, we have a very good friend of mine, two very good friends of mine from a great place. So I'm very excited to talk with them today, just because when we talk about business leaders, they fit right in.
And any good friend of yours is a new friend of mine.
There we go. Yes. So today, helping and provide us with business empowerment is our guests, Lynn Giugliano and Matt Doughty of Fuller Lowenberg and Co, CPA PC. Now, Fuller Lowenberg, a little bit about them. They serve architects, engineers, auto leasing, homeowner associations, insurance agencies, nonprofits, doctors, legals, professional athletes, and it's everybody. And we have with us the partners in the firm who Lynn started in 2000. And Matt, when did you start?
I started in 2006. I actually started as an intern with the company when I was finishing up my undergrad.
Oh, look at you.
It's been a good ride.
All right, very cool. Well, a good ride for both of you. I've known Lynn a very long time. I'm very, very happy that she decided to come on the show today and to bring you, Matt. And, so tell me, Lynn, you've been with the firm for a long time, right? You started in 2000. In 2000, right?
Yeah. 20, almost coming up on my 20-year anniversary.
That's crazy. So tell us, what kind of sparked your interest in accounting?
I started a little unconventionally. I actually answered an ad for a penny saver for the secretary.
Wow.
And so I replaced a lady who was leaving for maternity leave. And after about a year being there, one of the partners, Howard Fuller, I was like, why don't you go to school for accounting? Mm-hmm. And at the time, I had changed, my focus in education, and I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, all right. So I signed up for school at Suffolk Community College, and I started taking two classes and part-time, and until I became a CPA, and after a couple of years I became partner.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, I mean, and Matt, so you said you've also had a good ride. You started in 2006 as an intern. Now, what about you? What sparked your interest in going into accounting?
Some of it I feel like is luck, just fortunate. In high school, I started, thinking, you think about career paths, teachers and family kind of gear you, and accounting was something I had an interest in kind of right off the bat. When I started working at 14, it was with a small business, family-owned business, Italian restaurant. So I got to see how a small business is run. Yeah. And, working at Fuller Lowenberg and working with those small business owners, kind of hand in hand, watching them grow their business, helping them along the way. It just really kind of fit in well with what I wanted to be doing, and haven't looked back.
Yeah. And you guys have been with the company now, partner from intern. It really is a testament to the culture. Can you tell us a little bit about, why you stayed so long in the culture? Because I think that's really important for a lot of our listeners as they are going into growing their business and trying to retain talent. Yeah. I mean, I know I've been in the office, and the culture there is pretty phenomenal. But
thank you. Yeah. It's actually something we do concentrate ourselves around. We do. We have great tone from the top. Mm-hmm. Howard and Tom, the founding partners, they really do set the tone, and they have really given everyone a good work balance, life balance, and make the office enjoyable, and give us, Matt and I, the tools to continue to promote that and make the environment there such that everyone, while it's work and we all work very hard, it's enjoyable work.
Yeah, it's obvious that you guys like being together, and you can't fake that, and it does create, you do have to have the right culture. Now, Donyshia, you love some of the clients that they have, because they do have we mentioned a couple of areas of focus, but they do have an area of focus that's in professional athletes.
Okay.
So there's some kind of neat stories. Donyshia is very active, and she has a lot of athlete friends. I do not. but tell us about your clients, because I'm sure that fits into the culture as well.
Sure. We've got a good number of NHL hockey players, and we also do a couple of baseball and football players. It's a niche market in the fact that what people don't realize is how much filing requirements are for these athletes. They have to file every place they play. Their tax returns can be quite hefty. And then we also have a lot of athletes that are from overseas. So we wound up going into a lot of foreign work and tax law that, is not just concentrated just for New York. So it makes our firm able to learn all the different aspects of tax in states and different countries. So touches upon a lot.
Yeah, so that's a little different. Not every CPA firm is exposed to that. Now, tell us a story about how your services have made an impact on some of your clients.
One of the things that's I'll say cool to see as an accountant working with business owners is watching a company that really starts from the ground up and being there through the ride. One of the early clients I had picked up through a networking organization was starting his own business, merchant in the merchant services world. And over the years, we're involved in, especially on the small business side, really all aspects. They're calling us when they have questions about payroll, HR, naturally, income taxes, questions just about scaling their business, keeping expenses down, scaling revenue. And, this client in particular, he was just growing every year and ultimately got approached by a private equity firm and was ultimately bought out. And to be there from when he started it to seeing the exit and seeing this person that now is sitting in his 30s and has the financial ability to do whatever he wants.
Wow.
It's a cool thing to see and be a part of and watch people basically, create something out of nothing and put themselves in a position where they could do whatever they want. So I would say that's something that is something we're proud of, to be there for that ride and watch people reach that success is it's a home run every time.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, and our guests today are Lynn Giugliano and Matt Doughty of Lowenberg and Co. CPA PC. So kudos to you guys for feeling good about the success of your clients. I know that seems like a very simple thing, but obviously, if you're feeling so good about that and leading your clients in that direction, that's a testament to your professionalism. It's also a testament to the organization and the people that they hire. So, with the areas of specialties that we mentioned, I'm curious: is it that the partners are looking for people who are specifically focused in those areas? Does it just kind of happen naturally? Tell me a little bit about that.
I guess, part of it is that you have to be in it or get out.
Yeah.
You have to know the industry and spend the time to learn it and educate and go to school and take the CPE to continue to work in the field. And there's industries that we don't take on because we are not specialized in that field. Then the clients that we do have, we try to make sure that there's enough people in the staff cross-trained and educated in the specialized industries.
Yeah, so culture, training, very important. I'm sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we feel like we're in a really, as a firm, a really good position right now. We're 25 people in total. Within the firm, we have people that are really experts in different areas. So we have people that do a heavy construction and contracting. Others that do have a focus in the manufacturing and distribution areas, professional services. So within the firm, we've got people that they have an interest in an area, and we let them run with it. And it's allowed us to grow organically over the years. Having those people in house where we can really spread spread our wings, with regard to different industries that businesses have.
Yeah, so for any small business, accounting can either, proper accounting or lack thereof can either make or break your company. What are some of the challenges that you've seen people face, and how have you pulled them out of the darkness, I would say?
Yeah. Compliance is just, it's just everything. Things change. Yeah. Regulatory. I mean, whether it's on the tax side and you look at the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, or before that it was the Affordable Care Act, with hiring and there's sexual harassment training that came down the line this year. I mean, there's always something that's affecting small business owners. Yeah. And it just changes. I mean, every year there's something. So we work really hard to stay educated on this stuff. Some of it is, take the sexual harassment training. I mean, that's your labor law attorney, but we feel an obligation to be educated ourselves on it and have the conversations with the business owners to make sure they're doing, they're staying compliant with these laws that are changing. It presents a challenge, right? I mean, things are always changing, but it keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's very liquid. It's ever evolving. It's it must be tough.
And you hear numbers, and people they get scared, So that's the scary part for any business owner. How do you infuse fun and just positivity into staying in the green, and the black, I should say, and not in the red to folks? Those are tough conversations, I'm sure.
I think part of it is too that people look at the numbers and they think it's very complicated math, and I always looked at it. It's really applying the law to the math. It's not so much about the numbers. It's really changing the focus of what you're looking at and saying this is why it's happening, and these are the reasons why you have to do certain things as a business owner.
Right, and they just have to face the truth. Look, this is what's going on. This is what you got to do. Yeah. You got to comply with it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And for most people, I think if you're transparent with the process and they understand the numbers and you're explaining it to them throughout the year, it's not as scary for them. It's when they don't know, and then you file a tax return in February, March, April, and they're like, whoa, that it becomes overwhelming. So we try to keep our clients informed throughout the year so that they don't have that feeling you're talking about of being scared of what's going on, or that overwhelming.
Yeah, keeping up that communication throughout the year.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of planning and a lot of training. Yeah. I mean, we definitely, like Matt was saying, we're able to take these small businesses and bring them to new heights, and it's through educating them and training them and working with them in areas that they're not familiar with. But we, over the years have, seen so many situations and areas that we're able to transfer that information to the client to help them grow and see where they need to be and what they need to do.
Yeah, that's really cool that you guys have a common ground with your clients, because I think that's so important. Otherwise, how are they going to trust you? You have to, as you said, you have to be schooled in their industry to really know, this is the challenge you're facing. Guess what? They're facing it too, and this is what they're doing, and this is what you need to do. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So tell me a little bit about maybe kind of a crazy story. I'm sure there are dozens of them that happen every year, but tell me a crazy story about one of your clients. Something interesting that maybe you wouldn't think would happen in the accounting world.
I guess one of the things that's happening now that we're faced with is the scams.
Okay.
That are out there.
Think of that. Yeah.
We do get the phone calls, that, I haven't filed my tax return in 10 years. The IRS is coming after me and they want Apple Tunes gift cards.
Yeah. There's obviously something wrong there.
Yeah. So it's really it's the clients that are getting hit with it. It's, in just interesting ways. We've gotten emails saying, I'm a treasurer on a board, and I get an email from the president that he's looking for me to transfer money. Well, wait a second. So it's we're constantly getting those ourselves.
That's pretty sophisticated.
And our client, it really truly is. And our clients are facing that same thing. We had a client with the with video cameras, being hacked with video cameras.
Wow.
So our clients are facing a lot of different challenges coming from not just their numbers, but, how do you handle other situations?
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it definitely is. You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio. Our guests today are Lynn Giugliano and Matt Doughty of Fuller, Lowenberg and Co, CPAs PC. My name is Donyshia Boston-Hill, along with Ray Schwetz on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Donyshia Boston-Hill, along with Ray Schwetz, and our guests today are Lynn Giugliano and Matt Doughty of Fuller, Lowenberg and Co. CPAs PC.
That's a lot of letters. So now there's a lot of accounting firms on Long Island. Certainly there's enough business to go on Long Island as well. What are some of the things that you're doing with regards to your branding, and how do you keep yourselves relevant in that area? I know that's a tough one.
Yeah, for us, because of the nature of our business and working as the consultants with the business owners and being in front of them, I think our brand is us. We're out there, networking and getting involved in business groups and charitable organizations, and really trying to develop, show people who we are as individuals and as a firm. You discussed culture earlier.
Yeah.
So I think from that aspect, that's probably, we do more of that than the pushing marketing of the firm.
Yeah. That's a very good point too, because I think when we think of accounting or we think of CPAs, I think there's kind of an outdated thought process. And, I bring my paperwork to my accountant once a year, and it's somebody who's just in an office. That is kind of gone the way of the dodo, right? Because I feel like nowadays you have to be out there. You have to be, personal. You have to be. And I do feel like the new breed of accountants that I see out, are doing what you folks are doing, and that's the way you differentiate yourself. So
yeah, and most of our growth as a business is through referrals of other business relationships we have.
Right.
Bankers, attorneys. We develop, you have to develop a rapport with people for them to be comfortable referring their clients, their friends, their family to you. So that you have to know somebody. It's not just passing business cards around. So we try to be a resource for people in those relationships. If we have attorney friends, they call us, they bounce ideas off of us, they ask us questions, and we try to be available to them, educate people, and over time we hope they trust us to refer those relationships, or somebody that we meet at an event, maybe a year down the road, 2 years down the road, they say, you know what, I really should discuss changing. I'm not happy with where I am, and it could be over a period of time for them.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, the trust factor, not only for the referrals, but also as the client. Or the client divulging, all their numbers and their books to you, whether it's QuickBooks or, people are still doing it with the paper and pen, So I think, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And that's a testament and value to any, service provider, when you're in the service industry.
Yeah, you do need that. Now,
we trust bankers as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you trust this banker at least. Yes.
At least this banker.
Yes. No, agreed. You need those professional alliances. And it's funny because a lot of people, this is something I always say, I feel like half the time I'm not really going knocking on doors looking for business. It's a question of you align yourself with folks who are like-minded. and similar values, and it seems to work out because I'll be at an event and I'll think of you because they need an accounting service, or you'll think of me if they need a loan, but I think more importantly it's that people don't do their buying by knocking on doors either. They do their buying by, I speak to my trusted advisor, and that's who I'm going to go with. I'm not going to shop around. I'm going to look at their website, because everyone needs a web presence. Otherwise, you're invalid. But I do think more and more I'm seeing that people will, look for that, and so it's very important. I think good advice for businesses who are listening, to do that, to form those alliances. What are some of the other things that you're doing to maintain that success? It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I think part of our branding is that we do have a stable staff. Mm-hmm. Many of our people have been with us for, like myself, 15, 20 years. So you have clients that are relying on the same people to come in and work with them. They're not getting a new person every single time. Somebody, every quarter, someone new isn't showing up.
Right.
So you have the ability to have the employees educated in the client, notice when there's a mistake or an error, or are able to learn about the client more and more and help guide them through the process. I think also having the staff that we do and the longevity of the staff is we're more efficient at our work.
Yeah.
Where someone new, coming in new is always trying to backpedal to catch up, where we're coming in open, the gates open and we're running. So we're able to do more efficient work in that regard.
You are listening to Tara Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, and our guests today are Lynn Giugliano and Matt Doughty of Lowenberg and Co, CPA PC.
Now, I'd love to find out, how do you keep your athlete clients off an episode of 30 for 30? I mean, we have to. That's key. That's key for a lot of folks out there, especially for those, some of the college students that are amateur athletes right now, going to make that transition soon in life. What is your secret sauce for that?
Mm-hmm.
Matt's turning red over here.
Tell them don't ignore it. We do get, it's kind of a parallel, but we have some professional gamers as well.
Okay.
That get sponsorships, and I had just last week I had an attorney reach out to me. He has a gentleman from Belgium who was in the States on a professional gaming. He was paid to come over to the U.S. to play video games.
Sweet.
And got a work visa. They have a designated visa for these athletes, we'll call them, to come over here and play video games. Didn't file his taxes in the U.S. and the visa's in jeopardy. Wow. And I think some people maybe they're not familiar with the laws, or they think it's going away. It's not. It doesn't go away.
It's like call Matt 911.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So
quickly.
And Lynn touched on it. There's the compliance in the various states, and all the states are looking for revenue, and we see it on the business side too, where businesses are doing business in various states. They're going over the bridge. They're going to Jersey. They're going to Pennsylvania, Connecticut. There's compliance things, and sometimes it's not the end of the world if you didn't file in a state and the state says, hey, I see you hire an employee. It can be addressed. It happens, right? It's not, you're not going to jail. It's
right.
a matter of calling the right people that understand the various tax laws in the different states to get it corrected. And it happens. I mean, it's like I said, the states are looking for money. So what used to be a situation where a company was not necessarily having a tax filing requirement in a state, today they might. The laws have changed quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, and very important to stay on top of that. Mm-hmm. So now, what do you do to keep yourselves? Obviously, this is a lot of hard work. You have a great culture. That's all great, all well and good. But what do you do to keep yourselves motivated?
We've had this conversation. I think part of it is we're both self-starters. Mm-hmm. We both we both love what we do, and our clients keep us motivated. It's something new every day. Our jobs, while some of it is tax, some of it is financial and audit. Mm-hmm. So it's a change up, and our clients' industries are magnificent. Mm-hmm. We find we're always fascinated by how someone has made a living and or new businesses and the new growth, and that excites us. It keeps us going.
Yeah, learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm just wondering, when you say the word audit, people, they get so scared. It's like
the hairs go up.
I know, for my corporate America days, it was like, okay, the auditors are coming. So that's always fun, and to ensure that I'm seeing you guys, you're full of laughs, you're full of smiles. So we want everyone to know that you don't have to be scared with this company.
No. Well, that's the thing. You got to know where to go for help. Now, what's obviously there's a lot of accomplishments we've talked about, but what's probably the proudest accomplishment that you have, within the firm or otherwise? I'll leave it open.
Not to repeat, the longevity of our staff, or the lack of turnover, is something we really are proud of. That people they want to stay. We try to really do the right thing by our staff, and I think the fact that we have people that stay with us and we don't have the turnover is something we're really proud of. And just from a client-facing standpoint, it's when we pick up new clients, it's a complaint we hear a lot. Is we have a new person every year, and it's like retraining them. Yeah, so it's something that we're certainly proud of. On a personal accomplishment side, we're all involved in various organizations. Our partners are one's on the board of his church, other partners EMT. And involved in the president of the CAI, Condominium Association Institute. I'm involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Lynn's involved in various charitable organizations. We all try to stay involved in organizations we feel close to.
Yeah, well, that's very important. And again, that's all the networking. Driving those relationships. Mm-hmm. If you're not seeing them, you're not having those relationships. Mm-hmm. So, what's the one thing you'd like to leave our listeners with? And also, please include your contact information where we can find you. Name, Social Security number. No, just kidding. No.
Your secret code, your mother's maiden name.
Yeah, you can certainly go to the website. The website's flcpas.com. It's a lot. So it's Fuller Lowenberg, Certified Public Accountants.com. And certainly anyone could call the office, and if they have questions or want to sit down, we're more than happy to spend some time. Our phone number at the office 631-499-7900.
Yep, and don't forget to ask for Matt and Lynn.
Yeah, of course, of course. There's always someone at the office that'll pick up. We get calls sometimes of people have a question. So,
yep. All right.
Good stuff.
Thank you for having us.
Matt, Lynn, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming to the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Philosophy, we have time?
We do. Courage is one step ahead of fear. Coleman Young.
All right. Thanks, guys, for being with us. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, your co-host and producers. This is an NCC Business Leaders Council production. Visit ncc.edu/WHPC for more information. Available on iHeartRadio, as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcast, and Spreaker. This has been Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll talk with you next week.